So building on what Daniel has been working on and using the example from Marcus, I've worked on a small package to load the matrix expression data. And the basic input for this single function in the package is, as Daniel mentioned, a vector bundle FQIDs. And I have a vignette here in the package, and hopefully it's big enough for everyone for the HCAMatrixBrowser package. So what we do here is, following Marcus's example, is just to first create this HCA variable. And I think I've ran this again, so the second time, for some reason, it has some issues. But basically, you construct your query here, and I just printed it out. This is the query, and as Daniel mentioned, you use that pull bundles function to get all of those FQ IDs and use that as the input for the load HCA matrix function. So it uses a few defaults, such as the URL endpoint, and I've made this as a default, but it's also an argument in the function in case this has to change at a later point. Another default is that it uses the Loom format. I'm aware that there are other formats, such as the ZAR format, and for the package and integration with Bioconductor, we chose the Loom format, which is the smoothest one. And the column annotations is just using the cell ID. So if we look at that output from the load HCA matrix function, you get a Loom experiment object back with the cell ID in the call names. So it just gives you something that it's ready for you to work on and run some analyses. So fairly short, that's what I've been working on. And it does, one thing to note here is that it takes a digest of all the bundle FQIDs. So it has a caching mechanism, but it's only at the sort of FQID vector level. It's not at the individual cell ID level. So in this case, I ran the load HCA matrix for 10 bundle FQIDs. If I only want a subset of these IDs, it would have to cache that subset. So just to sort of illustrate point here, I'm just gonna rerun this and with a subset, and you'll see that it'll query the service again and download those 5 bundles, even though I have them already in my memory. So there's that area we can still improve and sort of reuse the data for some of the FQIDs that we have. So right now it's downloading it for those 5 bundle FQIDs, even though they're already in my, but it's not aware that they're in my memory. So that's it for the small demo of the HCA matrix browser package.
Thanks, Marcel. There's a couple of seconds here for questions. I'll just see how this works. I'll unmute everyone and open the floor for questions. And if there's a tremendous noise, then I'll mute everyone again. So everyone's unmuted. If there's a question, maybe you could speak your mind, either Marcel or Daniel.
Marcel, are the matrix quantifications coming as HDF5?
These are Loom format files, and I think they're based off HDF5 format.
They are. I'll mention that both of these packages are on the Bioconductor GitHub repository, github.com/Bioconductor. And I believe that HCABrowser has a vignette, and HCAMatrixBrowser will shortly.
It has a vignette, a small one, but it's there.
Excellent. Great. I'll switch over. I'll mute everyone again, and I'll switch over to Mike Smith.